Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Darren Lewis, writing for The Mirror. Harry is in pain. It's all spilling out and he needs to heal. The depth of his candour in the subjects. He remains unafraid to tell you everything in that regard. It isn't the people, having watched the Netflix documentary charting his grief as a child, his lack of privacy deep into adulthood, and his resulting frustrations cannot see it. It is that many don't want to. Those same people preach about bullying, mental health, and the need for men in particular to speak out when they have zero time for the need to understand where Harry is coming from. Why can't we just hammer you without you answering back, they say? Why do you have to expose the schisms, the alleged bullying, the racist behaviour behind the scenes? Why can't you just accept your wife for being pulled apart and the stick you've had for loving her? Why would he? Why should he? All families fight. The royals are no different. This could get worse for them before it gets better. The Mirror's royal editor Russell Myers believes William and the royals may need to hit back at Harry. Myers writes, having already accused his father, King Charles, of being a liar and his older brother of being a bully, Harry has massively upped the ante by detailing explosive allegations that Prince William, the future king, flew into a rage and physically attacked him. For a man such as William, who has tirelessly campaigned about the importance of mental health provision, if Harry's bombshell claims are true, this will be particularly damaging. Myers also wrote, from the first few words of his extraordinary memoir, the tone was set for Meg, Archie, and Lily, and of course my mother. Naturally, given the bitterness that has enveloped Harry and the family he left behind, no mention of his father Charles or once beloved brother William. Perhaps the irony of his chosen title spare was lost on Prince Harry, for not one of his formerly close relatives or their loved ones is spared from a catalogue of explosive accusations. Ridicule, abandonment, violence, hate, and despair are just for starters. Through 557 pages, the reader is left feeling an overwhelming sense of astonishment and despair on his behalf and the path taken to this end of utter destruction of his family unit. At every twist and turn, the brutal assassination of his brother's character shows a man so embittered and damaged by his role as a younger sibling that he will now stop at nothing to destroy him. The BBC's Johnny Diamond writes, if you're a member of the royal family, the deal is that you suck up the criticism and the palace communications people deal with the flack. You don't speak out, you don't tell your side of the story. But Harry claims the very people he was told to rely on to defend him and Meghan were actually feeding negative stories about them to the media. There was, in his eyes, no way for the truth to be told while he remained within the palace machinery. His and Meghan's side of the story, he says, never got told. And worse, behind their backs, he says, palace staff, the people paid by the taxpayer to speak for them, were in fact undermining them. If this were an allegation made against a government department, a political party, a business or a football team in the public eye, a response would be expected. The lack of any response or denial would be taken by many as an admission that the allegation was true. So, is it true that the taxpayer-funded office of William and Catherine briefed against Harry and his wife? No comment, says the palace. All the fun and gossip aside, one item that could potentially be serious is Harry's mention of his kills in Afghanistan. The Mirror recaps that Harry wrote that he blasted enemy insurgents during 6 combat missions which involved the taking of human lives, and he did not think of those he killed as people but as chess pieces that were taken off the board. Many former military personnel have slammed the prince for revealing such specific details, with some suggesting it could affect his own safety and that of soldiers in the field. Major General Chip Chapman called Harry and his ghostwriter crassly and naively stupid, telling Times Radio, for him, who wants privacy and security, he just opened himself up to every jihadist and nutcase out there. He adds, we have a code of conduct. It's the values and standards of the military. He's broken at least 4 of those values. That includes respect for others, integrity, loyal, and selfless commitment. Palace Intrigue will be right back. It's been so serious lately that one story we haven't been able to get to involves the king being bumped into a staffer at a pub. This apparently happened in December. A friend of Charles told the Daily Mail, the king and queen attended a party at the pub and the man had to carry up a big tray of appetizers from the kitchen. He opened the door to the room using his back so he could keep both hands on the heavy tray. Then he bumped into someone. He turned around and saw it was the king. Shocked, he said, sorry, king. He was later told by his boss that the king found it really funny and it was the first time he'd been called king. Charles did not seem bothered that the staffer did not use the correct term, Your Majesty. And let's keep it light with some jokes from the American late-night hosts. Jimmy Kimmel joked, "They got in a fight after William insulted Harry's wife, Meghan Markle. Harry claims William called Meghan difficult, rude, and abrasive, which he probably could have saved time and just said she's American." Kimmel added, "Two brothers who are the result of the generations of inbreeding got in a fight. The only surprise to me is it didn't happen in Florida." Jimmy Fallon went with, "Harry also writes in his new book that before he married Meghan, William and Kate were religious viewers on her show Suits. I feel like I believed everything Prince Harry said until just now. I don't even think the stars of Suits were religious viewers of Suits." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. If you'd like to follow us, please do so on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and royally good times.
All right, here's the pitch. 5 stories. They're all good news. It's called 5 Good News Stories. No negative news, just good news. Nice, easy way to start your day. Hopefully a smile. Hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. You get the premise? There's 5 stories, and they're all good news. It's the number 5 Good News Stories. 5 Good News Stories. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts.